All right, hello Rifty. Today we're gonna be going behind the scenes on your Convergence event.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, our first question is, how do you first know that you wanted to do this event?
So it was around this time last year, around June-ish, that
Mm,
we wanted to end our Battle Royale experience because we obviously were starting to get a bit bored of making BRs. So we decided to plan out this event, which we planned out through the whole summer and obviously most of winter. We began working on it. So yeah, no, we knew from like a while that we wanted to do this event.
okay, awesome. That sounds like you guys been planning this for a very long time. It's almost a year of production. Damn.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about the cinematic?
My favorite part, honestly, had to be the island forming scene. Like the
Mm,
VFX in the island form actually had two favorite parts. One was the island forming scene, and the other, ironically, was when the island was getting sucked into oblivion. Like,
mm-hmm.
I loved both scenes because one scene showed defeat and the other showed, rising back up and rebuilding. So,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I loved those two scenes.
yeah, man. I remember those scenes. Those are very impactful. I like those a lot,
Yeah,
and the VFX were beautiful.
absolutely.
What went into the writing and planning of this event?
There was a lot of writing. There were a lot of back and forth things about like what to do. There was scrapped scenes which we couldn't do due to memory. There was
Mm,
there's a lot of scrapped plot points. Like there was supposed to be more than one Midas showing up. Like I will tell you that the way like different Midases showed up in that event.
yeah.
There was supposed to, you see chapter 5 released during development. So like the Lego mode came out. So we wanted to put Lego Midas in there, but
Mm-hmm.
we knew that we couldn't because there was porting issues, but like we also didn't want to get copyright issues. So yeah, no, we decided to scrap that. So yeah, no, there was a lot that went into like writing it. Like it was so fun. Like there was a few, for example, we had a season planned that we had to scrap. So then we merged it into season 2 and like scrapped
Mm-hmm.
the original season 2 idea, which was pirates. So we had to like try write it into Convergence to make it work because the third season was actually supposed to be it was supposed to be a continuation to another season. So yeah, no, it was not last minute, but ending the Golden Island was a decision made very late in process.
Yeah, that's very cool. Um,
Yeah.
did the audience reaction surprise you, and how did the public receive this event?
Uh, the audience reactions surprised me a lot. There were a few things which I understand criticisms. There was a criticism about the voice acting, which I completely understand. The public did love the event, but obviously they had their criticisms, which we're going to be improving upon in our future games. So like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was all of that. So yeah.
How much time was put into each part of the cinematic?
I'd say mainly about a few weeks to a month in each part of the cinematic, excluding writing, which we spent months on.
Mm,
So like it was mainly the ending part that was kind of the longest, since it was a lot of animating. A lot of the ending part was actually done earlier on. That was like one of the first parts of the event done,
yeah, that's
and then
interesting.
the rest, you know, was done next.
Mm,
So yeah.
that's very interesting.
Mm.
During this event, you see lots of character development. Which characters do you think impacted the cinematic and the audience the most?
I'd say mainly it was Midas. Midas, there was the Golden Devil, which was definitely a villain to say the least. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I think those two impacted the event and the audience the most because they're kind of the main characters front seat. So you have to make sure there's a lot of emotion, in their character arcs and a lot of connection. So yeah, no, them being like the Golden Devil being his alter ego, like how Midas had to fuse with the Golden Devil to like eliminate him and stop everything. So yeah, no, there was definitely a lot of impact in on the audience. The audience like we'd be told about the Golden Devil, and how like his story was awesome and all. So yeah, no,
Hmm.
I loved it.
Yeah, Golden Devil was like, such a like I don't know. He was just such a good villain for the cinematic because, you know, um, the main character has
Yeah,
like a very strong connection to him because they're kind of the same person.
yeah. I loved. I think I loved the most I loved is Gigala, how he played the character.
Yeah,
We had a
Giggle is
few.
very good.
Yeah, exactly. We had a few voice actors over the last 2 years try him out, but none can compare to Gigala. Like, it was mainly we were looking for someone who had like a British voice accent, but like he can do it very evilish, like twisted. So yeah, no, I think we definitely hit the nail on that one.
Hmm.
So yeah, I loved how he played it.
Yep. According to Rating Tomatoes, this is the fourth best cinematic in the CBR community and received a 90.2 tomato score. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm absolutely shocked on that actually because there's a lot of impressive battle royale cinematics out there, like not only like story trailers or gameplay trailers, but like full-on events. And one thing I'm starting to see now after this event, I'm not trying to sound egotistical here, but more events are starting to be made with mini BRs, and I'm actually really happy that's happening because creators deserve to tell their stories in a very big manner.
Hmm.
Like have Fortnite doesn't do as much events now as they do. Like they don't do as much events now, but it's nice to see creators jumping into the pool of all these events. So yeah.
Hmm. And I mean, we've almost are gonna hit 100 rated cinematics on Rating Tomatoes, and I mean, fourth place. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Were you satisfied with the outcome of this event?
I was. Yes, I was. There was a tad bit like when we were in testing, we've probably tested this about 70, 80 times during testing, but like when it came down to when it premiered, this bug only appeared, and obviously every UEFN map has a bug that appears after it's published. So when the player wasn't getting teleported, that was the only missatisfaction I did not I really wish worked out. But obviously we fixed it immediately afterwards, so people tried it again and loved it. So there was a hitch, but we avoided it, and I'm just happy with that.
Hmm. And I went into Discovery and I saw this map and I was so surprised because it was getting hundreds of consistent plays, and I think you really hit the nail with the everything with this event. And
Yeah.
um
I
yeah.
I actually I think it was my good friend Linkstop who was the main creative director behind this event. Like obviously I'm the lead of this team, but like I let him take the control over this event. I think he definitely blew it out of the water, like showed what UEFN can do. So I more or less appreciate what he did for it. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all the questions I got for you. We're gonna move
Right.
on to voice acting now. Thank you so much
Okay.
for the small interview, and
No
yeah,
problem.
thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, we're here with the voice actors now, and yeah, we're just gonna start off. Which characters did you guys play off in this event, and what importance did they have?
Well, I played Midas, and he was basically one of the main characters for the entire event.
Hmm.
I played Rifty and Janora, who was not mainly a main character, but he was there most of the event, and is a protagonist.
Okay.
I play the Golden Devil, the big bad of the entire series, who went on quite a tear throughout the entire series, and main villain.
Okay.
So I play the End, also known internally as Ted, my goat. He's basically a lore dump character who kind of tells Midas what to do, or tells Midas and the Looper what to do, and he's cool. I like him.
I play the commander. He helps run the operation and helps guide the player through the event.
Okay, awesome. Was this the first time you guys had voice acted for a character, or have you had experience with voice acting before?
I think that's my. Well, that wasn't my first time voice acting for Golden Island itself, but like as just a standpoint, yes, it was.
Very interesting.
I at that point I've been voice acting for about a year prior, so this is not. It's definitely not my first time. So yeah.
Once again, I first voiced Golden Devil in earlier Golden Island, but this was my first ever character I voice acted.
In terms of voice acting, yeah, that was pretty much my first time. I had voice acted Ted in some scrapped lines for a earlier event, which was actually quite literally called The End, but those weren't ever like officially put in because, you know, creative. But aside from that, yeah, this was like my first time voice acting, pretty much.
So it was my first time voice acting for this project, but I have voice acted in other projects before.
Oh, okay, interesting. What other projects have you voice acted for?
So I don't know if you guys remember any of this, but there was some projects back 10 years ago. They would call them machinimas.
Yeah.
And for a while, people made them on Halo. And since I was a big fan of Halo at the time, I started getting into some small voice acting stuff and helped out with a few projects on there.
Nice. Did you guys feel your character was experiencing an arc or developing more?
Yeah, I felt like my character was, having an arc and somewhat developing throughout basically the entirety of all Golden Island's existence.
Yes, I felt like my character has as well. We basically started him off as, just a guy. Like, we revealed him in the 10th season, and then, we kind of we started closing his arc and many other arcs as Golden Island came to its end. So yeah, no, I felt big development in not only my character but other characters.
Yeah, with the Golden Devil, while he didn't do too much in the way of character development, as he was still the evil one all the way throughout the entire story, but he did change along the story. He became more powerful and a credible threat to just everyone on the island, and his character arc really did justice for the finale of Golden Island.
I feel like if we're just speaking about, Golden Island as a whole, yeah, my character did progress. I mean, the End was originally he wanted to kill everything, if I remember correctly. Like, he was quite literally called the End, and then in Convergence, he's kind of following up on how he developed in the previous event he was in, where he's he's helping Midas to save the island, and he's talking about how, he was shown how to, why he should protect these people.
So I'm not exactly certain about my character's arc. It felt like he had a purpose, and he just truly was there to serve that purpose.
Yeah. Were there any challenges as a voice actor that you faced during this cinematic?
Yeah. Some of the times I actually had to go record my lines. I was sick, so I had to, force my voice to enunciate words a bit more, so, it didn't all sound basically in, a blob of just random mashed together words.
Yes, I did. I'm not great when it comes to voice acting with emotion, but I tried, and it kind of worked. I hoped it was better. It would be better, but it worked as I like it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, while I didn't exactly have too many challenges with it, I know that I retook my voice lines at least 5 times just because I didn't feel they were up to standard with the character and just the way it was. And I definitely wanted it to feel like a actual threatening villain instead of just another person that sounded like another guy. So just having that made it a little bit more challenging, but admittedly not too bad, but still it gave me challenges.
I mean, I don't think I had really that many challenges during the whole recording. I mean, the main challenge came from just adjusting the filter that I was using, and I remember asking Lynx, who developed it, to like replace my voice lines to get a better filter because I didn't really like the filter that was in the original lines. But aside from that, like I don't think I had too many challenges. I don't know.
So I usually have a problem in normal conversations where I speak too fast. So when I started doing my lines, I had to keep reminding myself that I need to slow down a little more and enunciate all of my words, and to also make sure I'm conveying the right emotions depending on the scene.
Yeah. Do you think the community received your characters well? And yeah, how do you think other people liked your characters?
I think the majority of the community liked the fact that I voiced Midas, but I think there's some who didn't like the fact that I didn't make Midas British. And I remember Rifty telling me like, "Hey, can you at least try to put on a fake British accent?" And the issue is, I physically can't without sounding like the most stereotypical accent of all time.
I've been through voice acting too, and I've tried to do that before, and it is pretty hard. I was just gonna say that.
Yes, I do think the community took my character well. Especially, there was actually 2 memes from it. There was a meme where he was looking back when the Golden Devil made his entry, which was plastered all over CBR Central and other servers for a few days. And there was another one where I was very ragdollish and I was just thrown to the side, and people used that as well. So yes, and all in all, I think people did receive it very well.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But also, Golden Devil was heavily featured in both of those things, and I loved seeing just the reaction to the Golden Devil. And I will always find it funny just how easily Rifty is to throw around.
I loved how Nick A30 was like, "Oh no, not the Golden Devil," when he saw you.
Destroy the island.
No, not the Golden
Mike's,
Devil!
What's the status?
We have to.
Yeah, but no, it was. I think the community feedback from it just made it so much better to actually see people watching it and actually feeling like this is an amazing event.
Yeah, that does remind me. I do think I remember Nick A30 reacting to this, which is
He did.
That's amazing. How do you feel about that?
Bit of a shocker. There was, he actually did not. This isn't the first time he's played one of our maps. He played a horror map of ours about a year ago. He loved it, as per usual. It was only a 5-minute map. It was nothing too big. Link's Top made it. So yeah, no, it was a big shocker when he played Convergence, and obviously he had some constructive advice. So I took it well, and he actually replied to one of my tweets after he reacted to it, praising the team and all. So yeah.
That's very cool. Renegade? Yeah.
So I think people took Ted the end very well. I mean, my section was easily the most boring section in my opinion because I don't think there was much good there for the player to do, like just in general. But despite that, I think people took it well. I didn't see like any complaints about like the voice acting or the character or anything, which made me happy because I was worried people would like hate me. But aside from that, like no, I think people took the end very well. It's just I definitely think we could have added more to that gameplay section. But
Yeah.
aside from that, yeah.
Yeah, and then Goldliner, you introduced everybody into the cinematic. You were pretty much the first person everyone saw. So yeah, how do you feel like
So I feel like I had like a, had some like importance with like since I was introducing everybody into the event. But I feel like people took it well, considering that the character that I was playing had come off as like a very stern and very military-like. So I feel like they took it well.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for this interview. I appreciate it, and all you have like crucial roles in this event. I do like all
Yeah.
your characters, and yeah, it was nice speaking to every voice actor that was involved with this event.
Yeah, thanks. There was a few that obviously couldn't make it, but
Yeah, we got most of the cast. I'm glad we did
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Hello, Link's Top. You are the main guy for the VFX and animation behind the Convergence event, right?
I'm the lead developer. I made most of the things you see.
Nice. So yeah, we're just gonna go straight into the questions. How long did the behind the scenes of the VFX and animation take?
As in, how much did it take for me to do all this?
Yeah.
Let's say it took me like 4 months. It takes like 3 weeks to animate each sequence. There's about 14 or possibly 15 sequences in this whole event.
Oh, nice. Interesting. Were you satisfied with the final result of this event?
Honestly, right now, I'm pretty satisfied, but I know I have ideas on how I could have done it better. But I think it's still pretty good. I enjoyed the final result.
Nice. What went into the Golden Devil's character design?
I was inspired by some of the Marvel characters and some of my own stuff. The wings were inspired by obviously Venom.
Ooh, yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought it would be fun to give him some kind of just make him seem larger than he is. And the wing and the horns and the glowing things also kind of worked on that.
Yeah,
That
the
was just
wings
kind
and
of
the
me trying to figure out how to make him seem more like a devil, because
yeah.
without it, he's just a normal guy.
Yeah, I mean the wings and the horns and the golden glowing things just all make him seem not like one more powerful, and two, he represents his name, the Golden Devil, and I think visually you did pull the character design very well. What did you think of the public perception of the event?
Honestly, I was really surprised. People enjoyed it, and even with the bugs, people still praised it. And that made me really happy. I'm glad.
Yeah, and I talked to Sir Rifty already, and we were talking about how many how this is getting hundreds of consistent plays at once in Discovery, and
it's still
for a long time.
being played.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and I'm shocked. It's very, very impressive. Was there any challenges you came across when doing the VFX and animation?
There was one thing I remember. The mech scene for some reason, I still don't know why, it just crashed the whole game, the whole server just closed the game. I have no idea why, but after I changed the mesh, it just fixed itself. I don't think I'm gonna be able to solve that mystery ever.
That's strange.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. When you're in the game, do you think it feels like a Fortnite live event experience, or do you think it's a different kind of experience?
Honestly, it depends on your perception of live events. I think this is more like a cinematic movie type thing, because originally this whole Golden Devil story was gonna be a movie we were developing. We had a discussion about it and we scrapped it in favor for this event. And I think it's more of a movie more than an event.
Yeah, it's very cinematic. I think, like, the way I see it is, like, Fortnite events are, you do a lot, like you shoot guns and you go and do the things. This, you kind of were there and experiencing it and watching it. It was very cinematic. You really it was really more cinematic than in-game. Even though there was a lot of in-game aspects, it really was, you know, it had a good merge of both. But I do say I think I saw more cinematic than what Fortnite has with their events. Have you helped with Golden Island before the Convergence event?
I started helping Rifty with Golden Island when it was called Golden City, before Chapter 2. For the record, Convergence happens in Chapter 4. Most of the story you see in this event was written and helped with by me, Shadow, and the other characters. I was there helping write them into the story.
What how did you help with the creative direction of the event?
I think we were, before the season itself that Convergence took place in, we had a lot of discussions, and we even let me think about it. Yeah, I helped with mostly everything. I was overviewing everything the team did that wasn't my field of work, you know? And I think the team really did well. I'm glad that it turned out so well.
And my last question for you is, do you think we'll ever see these characters again?
I don't think I can speak for much, but there are some certain characters you will see in the future, and they will definitely have some water events. That's all I'm gonna say.
Alright, so no spoilers? Okay. Well, yeah. Well, yeah, thank you so much for this interview. That's the last interview for this video. But yeah, thank you so much for talking, and yeah.
No problem.
Very, very nice work with VFX, creative direction, animation, all of that.
Thank you for doing this whole behind the scenes thing.
Yep.
This is really fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what the video looks like.
Thank you guys for watching the behind the scenes video on the Golden Island Convergence event. I hope you guys enjoyed, and remember to check the description for our Discord server, the website, and other social media platforms. Also, if you would like to see more of these behind the scenes interview videos, let us know in the comment section below what other cinematics we could do this for.